This is an uncensored podcast about sex, sexuality, gender, and body stuff. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the person or persons sharing them. Some names have been changed to protect the anonymity of its participants. Hello, my friends. Hey, Goonies. Oh, I don't like that. It's I. Okay. Take two. It's me, Drew Michael. How are you guys? This is Make Sex With Me, a podcast where we are freaking the fuck out. Oh. What in the fuck? I moved to this little southern town thinking, oh, it'll be quiet. It'll be so much quieter than New York. And I think it's just because there's like the median age is 85 that like I hear a siren every 5 seconds. Like someone is having a heart attack or fallen down or I don't know, has a cat up a tree every 5 seconds. It's sorry, I'm a little annoying right now. I'm annoying myself. I haven't said words yet today. I literally just rolled out of bed. I was like laying in bed as I do on my days off, searching for motivation. And I was like, okay, should we find some sexy Reddits? Should we do this or that? Should this episode be about nothing that's going on in my life directly at the moment? And I said, how about no? How about we just tell the listener what the fuck is up with you? And so it's going to be a little bit about me today. I am leaving this town, you guys. This little seaside town that I have felt a number of things within. Like I've had good times and bad times here. I have felt included by so many people at my work. Like they made me feel welcome. They made me feel like I was a part of something. And for a person like me, a queer person especially, it's important to find community. We all need community in some way, but queer people, or people that feel like they're not a part of a lot of things, finding community is important to us. So, I found that at my job. I also work at a gym, and so that's where I work out. That's where I have friends. That's like it. Like it's like my home, my second home. Honestly, it really is. When I say that, I'm not just like writing it in my resignation letter. I really mean that. Like I hang out with people I work with, not all the time, but sometimes. When I actually hang out with people, because I lately just go home and I stare at my phone. I got a job in Michigan. So I applied to like 3 different places in Michigan with the same organization, and they just kept saying, we love you, but we gave the job to someone else, but try this location over here. Oh, we love you. You were in our top 2, but the other person just beat you out by this much. We're going to refer you to this other locations. So this third location I interviewed with, did my three rounds of interviews super, super fast. And, or maybe I only did two. I can't remember. There was a lot of interviewing and all over Zoom. It was very fun. And I got the job. So I have to now decide what my start date's going to be, and I have to get that to them, and I have to do it all in like in a month and a half. So it's like, yeah, really fucking fun. I am nervous. I'm anxious. I'm worried for my mental health because, when I moved here and things were how they were after a while, I had a little breakdown and had to go to the ER, and they did a brain scan because I was afraid I had a brain tumor or I was having an aneurysm, and they were like, nope, nothing's wrong with you. And I was like, okay, and do you have any Xanax? And they were like, we don't give that out to just anybody. And I was like, I'm not just anybody. I'm having a mentee B. Like, I need you to give me the Xanax. I won't abuse it. I just will take it, calm down from this panic attack I've been having for 24 hours, and then we will go to therapy. That's what we do. Although, to be honest, not having easy access to Xanax has forced me to rely on, coping mechanisms, techniques that I have learned from therapy. And that, I think, is more reliable. I really think they taught me how to fish instead of giving me 3 Xanax. That's what I think. Or a Xan bar, if you will. It's funny. When I was a kid, I used to get Xanax and take it for fun every once in a while. Like, I would have friends that had it, and we were definitely abusing it, but it wasn't like I got addicted. It was just like a lot of fun. And nowadays, I'm very good with it, but it's just such a lovely, unanxious moment without anxiety. And sometimes when you're someone who has a lot of anxiety, it feels really good to not have any for, a few hours or however long that lasts. Anyway, so I'm moving to another small town, but in Michigan, that is a purple state, which went blue in the last election. And they have a Democratic governor who has sexy, sexy plastic surgery. She did a good job. I love her. Her name is Gretchen Whitmer, I think. And I'm also from Michigan. So I'm going to be like an hour and a half from my hometown where I was actually born. And far enough away from certain people I know that live in Michigan still that I don't have to like frequently see them. But close enough that I can see other people that I want to see more frequently. And really excited for that. It's funny because I have so many people I have to tell I'm leaving, and they're going to all be so sad, and I'm going to have to deal with all that, which I'm not excited about. Because a lot of people see you leaving as like, especially with like my students, they just think like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? You were our teacher, and this class is everything to us. You can't leave. And they literally are unable to be happy for you because they're so consumed by like, what about me? And it feels really shitty. Imagine being in a relationship where a person only cares about what you can give to them. And it's shit. It's really shitty. The good thing about this, I told my mom, and I noticed that this last location, so there were 2 other locations. One, she was like, oh, okay. The second one, she was like, okay. And she was not excited. It was literally in the city of Detroit, which I was kind of excited to live in. Although I looked up like 10 or 11 most dangerous cities in Michigan, and apparently Michigan is like one of the more dangerous states in the country. I didn't realize that. Being from there, I had no idea. But I think because for a while Detroit was so dangerous and other cities were so dangerous, I also think the way that Michigan is handled, they've kind of kept segregation in a lot of ways. I mean, a lot of places have. I don't want to just like poo poo on Michigan, but there are definitely whole towns that are all white and whole towns that are all black. And it's like, and then you find out that like a huge section of Flint just like had contaminated water in their, their water supply was all contaminated, and the government knew and they did nothing. And it finally came out and it was like, holy shit. So yeah, that kind of shit is what makes Michigan probably rank high in that, is that you just like, you took all these people, you kept them away from the white people, and then you took away every chance they could have to better themselves, and then you blamed it on them, and then it's like, yeah, people are going to do, it's like when people, I'm listening to this podcast about what happened when the levees broke in Louisiana, and it was like, it was lawless. There was like there was no law at all. I mean, even like the cops were doing military shit. Nothing was going the way it should have. And I mean, it's another thing of like, how do you deal in situations like that? Like, Katrina was devastating. It put 80% of New Orleans underwater. 80%? Are you kidding? They were telling people, leave and don't come back. Like, we will not be rebuilding this city anytime soon. So you lived here for 50 years, or your family's been here for hundreds of years, whatever. Get out, leave, don't come back. You don't have time to get any of your belongings. Just go. Oh my God, it's crazy. I know. And I'm thinking about the fact that I live here in Hurricane Alley, and I'm like, why would I fucking live here anymore? The same shit's happening with Helene. I mean, we have to talk about that. I'm hearing people just scrambling to help other people who are, have lost everything. And it's like, you don't even think about someone living up in the mountains having to deal with tropical storms or hurricanes, but it is possible. It's possible for them to work their way up there and to, devastate the land with rain and high winds. And apparently the rain was the problem with this. And yeah, again, the dams broke, you know, and everyone living in the pathway of that water lost everything. It's just insane. It's insane. It's insane. That's all I can think. And then Milton's about to go across Florida in a way that like, and it just went up, Helene or whatever just went up that through the Gulf, and they already had a lot of flooding in Florida from Helene, and now Milton's gonna go right over that same area. And the thing that's crazy is that all these people who had all this flooding, like hundreds and hundreds of homes, maybe thousands, I don't know, they lost all their furniture and stuff. It was all flooded. They had to throw it all out. They have piles outside of people's homes of stuff. They're just like, this has to get out because it's going to get moldy and gross. And then now that Milton's coming, it's going to hit the coast at like category 3, 4, 5, who knows. And all of the things they put out to the road are going to become projectiles. So they're asking people as quickly as you can, get everything back inside of your house so that there aren't like millions and billions of flying projectiles all over the area during this storm that'll make damages so much worse. and there's like whole piles of stuff that's already been removed and just like in landfills, like piled up, and it's just like loose, and there's no way they can get it all out in time. There's no way they can secure all that trash in time. It's like a fucking nightmare. It's not funny, but it's like my brain can't handle it, you know? So, how do we start talking about that? But yeah, that's also current events. We are all doing the best we can. Some people are better in an emergency than others. Some people, I would like to say this. So many people nowadays are so not good, are so bad at helping their neighbor, helping other people, that I think we're out of practice. That's one thing I'll say. So many people, literally, they call themselves Christians, and then they say things like, well, I don't want to pay for your kids to eat school lunch. I don't want to pay for, other families to have like a home. I don't want to pay for other people, blah, blah. I work and this is my money. I was just listening to a podcast that I've had a podcast, and Don Lemon was on, and he said that these evangelical Christians, they've replaced their God with money. Their God is money, and their God is guns. And I imagine this image of like Jesus on the cross, and he's been like pushed off the cross so that they could put guns and money on the cross, and he's just like laying on the ground like, excuse me, I was dying, and like tapping his foot like, this was my cross. This is my religion. Not anymore. Now it's guns and money. I was trying to think of a third thing. So there could be like a trilogy or a trifecta. Wait, what's it called? Father, Son, Holy Ghost. What's that called? It's not called the trilogy. Yeah. So I think that's one thing we have to work on, is like caring more about people outside of our families and ourselves. And I don't think it has to be the people who are unable to afford to take care of themselves and their families that have to worry about that. Because it seems like we see people caring for each other more in those situations. When people have less, they know what it's like to have less. And a lot of times, they open their hearts, they open their homes to help people. And they also, if you've ever done that, you realize how much better we are together and how much that feels amazing. When not a lot of things feel amazing. When you're working your ass off to make ends meet and you're like, this isn't what I was born to do. Was I born to struggle? And then you do something good for someone else and you think, that felt so fucking good. And I see their happiness and I see how much I help them, and this is rewarding. This is maybe what I came here to do. This is maybe what I was born for, was like helping other people. That feels so much better than only helping myself all the time. Even if I have to focus on myself in order to get to a place where I can actually be self-sufficient, still choosing to do, that was my key. Finding a job where I can help people and make enough money to survive. And that's, I feel like, what I've done. Oh, nice little circling back to what we started talking about. So yeah, the next month, you guys, I'm going to be very busy. Transitioning to a new state, new home, new job, the next couple months. But I intend to continue to record. You're gonna get some recordings of me in the car for sure, because I have an 8-hour drive to Lexington and then a 5-hour drive to Detroit, more or less, because I'm gonna see Lexi in Lexington, and I think I might record with her Well, I'm there. We'll find out what it's like for her to be a new mother of a 1-year-old. Shit like that. And, I'm going to see my nephew from Lexi, who's not really my sister, but I'm calling him my nephew anyway. It's going to be really hot. Oh, no, that's not the right word. Oh, okay. And then, yeah, I'm going to keep you guys informed. I might just do like super minis, like quick little afternoon delights. We might call them afternoon delights. They're so quick that it's like one pump and you're done. One and done. Ooh, maybe I'll call them one and done. I'll just think of one sexy thing to tell you each time. And that might be what has to happen sometimes. I think afternoon delights is not the best. I think one and done is better. Let's call it one and done. This is going to be a shorter episode. I have nothing sexy to tell you. I just wanted to let you know that. And I do intend to have a podcast, regardless of what my job is. I love podcasting. I want this podcast to still become something. I would love to be a professional podcaster the rest of my life. I love it. And I just want this podcast to be better. And I think if I have a better job, I'll actually have some more money to put into the podcast. And the possibilities will be more and more endless. So I'm very excited for that. I feel like there were other things I wanted to tell you. Was there anything else? Oh, here's something kind of sexy. This is kind of funny. So there's this guy who is, he is one of the janitorial services people that cleans at my work. And he's like the night guy. And he's this like, I want to say like early 50s, maybe late 40s. I can't tell. He's black. His skin is really nice. And he's like real trim, but like, he's got good features. He looks really cute. He's got this really, really like close shaved like buzz hair, like where it's like longer on top a little bit though, and there's like barely anything on the sides. And you can tell his hair's like a little silvery. So that's why I think he might be like in his like early 50s or something, maybe late 40s. He's got a nice smile. He's cute. He's real cute. And I can tell he's kind of into me, but he's like very like, I don't know. He's very, I don't want to say DL because I feel like that's kind of racist, but he is like, just like, he would never come out and say like, hey, you want to go out on a date, or here's my number. He'll say things all the time like, you got my number. You got my number. You call me if you need anything. You call me if you, and he's making it sound like it could mean like for work. Like if I need him to come, like if there's a problem in the bathroom, I need him to come clean it. But it's almost like, but he also gave me his number. He's like bought me dinner before at work, and other people too, but it was also me. And he'll just like randomly like give me his credit card and be like, here, you order pizza and I'll have it. And here's my card. It doesn't matter what you get whatever you want. He's like, I like meat lovers. I'm like, okay, cool. And the other day, actually the day that he ordered the pizza, he said, this is his accent. This is like Southern, maybe a little bit because he's black, but also like country. Okay, like country Southern. He came up to me and he said, yeah. And I went, and I was like, okay, yeah. And I was like, that kind of sounds like, did you eat yet? And I said, did you just ask me if I've eaten anything yet? Like a total cunty white bitch. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I did not eat yet. What are you eating? Are we eating my butt? Are we eating out my ass? And he's like, yeah, let's order pizza. And then I turned around and looked at my friend Jackie, who's also black. She's also Southern. And I said, yet? And she was like rolling on the floor almost. Like she was like, yep. I was like, did you know what he said? And she's like, yep, I heard that before. And I was like, Jackie, you don't say yet. And she's like, no, but I know people that do. And I was like, that is country, Jackie. Like, I have never. It was so funny. Oh my God. Anyway, so here's the real story. So this guy, he was like cleaning the locker room one night. I swam laps, and I had to take a shower. And I always shower with the curtain open because I wish we had communal showers. I just don't give a shit about privacy. I like to be naked. I just keep the curtains open. Plus the curtains are kind of gross. I don't want to touch them. That's my excuse. But really, I just like to let people know. I like being naked, and if other people, there's a couple other guys that don't close the curtain either. They just like being naked, and it feels good. And you see the other naked people, and you're like, hey, what's up? We're a team. So I'm showering, and he's like cleaning the sinks on the other side of like the shower wall or whatever. And I could tell that he like could see me at one point when he was like putting paper towels in the thing or taking out the trash or whatever. I could see him, so I'm sure he could see me. And so then I finish my shower and I walk out of the shower stall, and there's like this little drying area, but it's all in its own little shower room, and there's doors on both sides of the shower room. And I'm like drying off, completely naked. He walks in and looks at me and goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know anybody was in here. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, and then in my head, I'm thinking like, you motherfucker, you knew I was in here. You came in to get a look, and you're trying to act like you didn't see or you didn't know. And I was just like, bitch, I mean, I guess this is exciting. It's exciting and fun to play act like we don't know you want to fuck me. But I wish you'd be a little bit more direct, because I don't got time for that. And, I don't want to date anybody. I'm on my way out of here, but I wouldn't mind sucking that dick. Honestly, that'd be nice. Why not? Maybe I'll get a little bit more direct with him and see what happens. I also don't want to like do it at work. So, be like, where's your truck? Let's go out to the parking lot. Where's your truck at? Yet. Oh, goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. All right, guys, that's all the time we have this week. We're going to keep this under 30. 30 under 30. Oh, I'm not under 30. 40 under 40. Okay. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And please email us at makesexwithmepodcast@gmail.com. And for my Michiganders who are listening, I'm going to come for ya, bitches. For my South Carolinian friends, bye-bye. But the good news is I'm literally going to be like within 30-40 minutes of a humongous international airport, and flights are like nothing. Although I've heard recently that like airplanes are terribly unregulated, so that's not great. But we're gonna keep flying anyway, and just like play our hand, make sure that we're getting places and not dying. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you aren't afraid to challenge yourself, no matter what your age is. Go back to school, get that degree. Don't be afraid to go for what you want. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Always, 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 always advocate for yourself. And I was just talking about advocating for yourself somewhere. Was that on Instagram Live? It's my biggest thing. It's my only advice. Always advocate for yourself, because no one else will, or very few people will, and for that matter. You're lucky if other people do. And I hope you're filling your holes with exciting, big, new, challenging things. even if it's just a really, really big sex toy, like with veins and knuckles and bye.